everyone. Hello and welcome back. Hello, hello. Hi, hi. Hi. Yes, so today we are going back into Pokemon mainly for grinding and possibly trading. Hello, Spectre. I think I know the reason why um the trading was not working. I think I know the reason why. But let's go ahead and introduce our brand new team. We got Psylo as our Sandshrew. Casto as our Murkrow. Although we're just using that one to like build up for the next gym. Silver Owl's here as our Onyx, of course. Cosire as our Quagsire. Diffie is there because he is also ground type, which he is a Piloswine, and we have Houndour as Mystic Flare. You know you can press down? Press down? Okay, I'm trying to press down, but it's making me go like this. Unless I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. So I think the reason why our trading wasn't working right was because of the time situation. So we will have to go back. Check on the stats of your Pokemon. Okay, hold on. We'll do you. Stats. Oh. I could just go up or down. My bad. Okay. Now I see what you were heading for. Okay. So in order for us to trade, which we'll do that maybe, I don't know when exactly, but all I know is that we need to train our ground Pokemon first to level, what is it? Hold on. Excuse me. 40, 45. So we have a long way to go, especially for some of these Pokemon here. So let's take you down there. You are probably a little closer than compared to any of these guys, but okay. I don't know if Quagsire is going to be a good one, but I'm pretty sure Quagsire is just going to be our last resort Pokemon. So today we're just going to keep it casually. I think the next time that we will do Pokemon is to Lieutenant Surge's gym, but as of right now, we're just taking things easy, taking things slow and easy. Also, I want to learn how to trade Pokemon too, which... it's also interesting. Oh yeah, before... hold on. There we go. Jigglypuff. So how has everybody's day been going? Mine, so I got my internet upgraded. Hopefully this actually stays continuously. So there shouldn't be any delays. Uh-oh. My earbuds are saying that their batteries are getting low. So hopefully we don't have any issues with delays and scuffiness. Otherwise, it may be something on Twitch or your side, because I'm hoping that this should be able... I know my battery's low. Shut up. Earbuds telling me. I forgot to charge my other headphones, so it's like... So I'm hoping that it's telling me like that every second. Hold on. Go back in there. Get back in the case, or you belong. Just a little bit longer before I put my headsets on, please. What else? I mean, that's basically about it, really. Nothing too big or out of the blue. Gotcha. One shot. You know that feeling? Yeah. It was like right beside me, and I'm like, why do I have it here? Well, it's usually my spot before like I'm off streaming and stuff. And I just keep forgetting where the charger was until somewhat recently. I mean, I guess I could do the rare candy buying, but we're just gonna take it easy for now. And then we'll get into the trading later on. Whoop-pew! Wait, I don't think Kusaya has any ground moves. He only has water moves. She only has water moves. Unless there is a ground move that I can teach. Let me check. Stats. Yeah, because Slam is normal. Okay. Let's see what I got here. Pack. What is considered a round? PM round type moves. Let's see if we have any of these. Let's see. Roll out. No. I think that's wrong. Earthquake and dig. Oh yeah, we were gonna learn mud slap. Mud slap. Mud slap is what type of move? Let me see. I forgot what I said in the last stream of who was going to get who. Like for TMs and stuff. Oh, mud slap is a move. A ground move, okay. I think I was doing, I'm gonna take mud slap for Cosire. And then earthquake, I think I'm gonna do, let me look at you real quick. You only have cut. I think I'm gonna put it on you. I think. I think that's what I was planning to do. But I don't know what moves to get rid of. Sandstorm is rock. So no. So we do not have a dig move. Is that an HM or a TM? It's a TM. Okay, TM 28 is that. I don't have it, so. Okay. Well, what to give it? So for Quagsire, I only have 2 moves that I can replace, but does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'm trying to think what to get rid of if we're gonna do that. Let's take a look at you first. Maybe Slam? Because Slam is normal type move. Might do that. So get rid of Slam. And then for yours, I think Bind or Tackle. Let me see how much points Earthquake has. Earthquake. 10. So probably Bind. Because Bind hasn't done a whole lot for us. Okay. So it can't learn, like, Earthquake when it's leveling up. So we'll just do that. Give Earthquake. Yes. Poof. And poof. And then Mud Slap. Or Slam. Alright. Let's test that out. Let's test it out, shall we? Oh, it's fine. Of course! Well, that's a sad way to put things. Get him! You can do it, Pisano. You can do it. Uh-oh. We're still good. And now the other one's saying it's low, which I already knew that. Let me see if my headphones are done. Well, mostly charged. I don't know. I don't know. But I guess we'll take a guess.
I know your batteries are low. Shut up. Shut up.
Not quite done charging, but they should be a little better right now. Okay, so you can hear that. Let me check. We'll be alright for now. Alright. Let's test this thing out, shall we? What's that? Okay. Okay, let's try Earthquake and see what that does. Say bonk. Alrighty. I'm gonna get my water. we're back. Well, we can't use ground type on this one, so... Let me take a look on... When does Sandshrew evolve at? Let me look. Okay. But we also have no, actually that's basically all we need to evolve. Excuse me, good lord. Alan, I'm trying to talk to the lady. Only employees are permitted to go upstairs, but since you came in such a long way, have this little neat souvenir. Upgrade. It's the latest product. It's not for sale anywhere just yet. Then why did you give it to me? I'm trying to find a place to shop at. Or is that the other city? There's the mart. It's right next door. Okay, so we need... So they're at level 15. I'll just take 10. And boop. Like nothing happened. A mysterious box made by Selfco. trying to learn Poison Sting. No. Yeah. One more to go. Ah, there she is. Hey, look at that. A sand slash. Other city. Whatever. I'm like, I thought there was a mart around here somewhere, right? Alright, now we can go ahead and train. Yes. Get out of here. Maybe I should move to a different route for this. They are kind of like lower level-ish, but only Kosire right now is kind of overbearing it. Everyone else is like sort of in the teens, 17, and whatever. We're just gonna Alright, hold on. Let's actually switch. Don't. Why does Leer look like it's laser eyes? It makes no sense. Oh, come on. I'm heading to the next town. Get out of here. You guys ain't worth nothing. a terrifying tail. Then again, it's not as scary while it's still light outside. Come back after sunset, okay? Alrighty. A terrifying tail. Oh dear, my Pokemon keep me company, so I don't ever have to be lonely. Meow even brings money home. That's nice to know, I guess. Oh, I can turn on the PC here. Someone's in the middle of composing an email. I hope you'll never... I hope you come and visit Can't... Oh my god, I almost read it wrong. I think you'll be surprised on how much things have changed here. You also see many Pokemon that aren't native to Johto. To the producer. Producer, huh? Is that right? I'm the game designer. Filling up your Pokedex is tough, but don't give up. Oh, me, I'm the programmer. Playing the slots machine. Alright. Game free. Oh my god. Really? So I'm guessing I have to come back at night. Hi, places. I do love them so. I say the only thing that loves heights as much as me is smoke. Don't smoke, kids. Do not smoke, guys. Don't smoke. It's bad for you. The guy said sunset. Okay, well. What is considered sunset in this game? Let's see. Usually gets dark around 5 my time, so about an hour. But like, would that considered City of Rainbows and Dreams and disappointment? Playground for everybody, for everyone. Oh, that's the game center. Trainer chips. Welcome. We exchange your coins for fabulous prizes. Which prize would you like? I don't know on those on the top of my head. And I don't got any money, so. I did. Oh my god. Pikachu, Porygon, or Larvitar. Larvitar? What is that? Larvitar. Oh, it's this little guy. A rock ground type. kind of looks like, what does it look like? If I were to describe it. Mini Godzilla. Okay, there you guys go. There you guys go. Mini Godzilla, kind of, yeah. We all know what Pikachu is. Porygon is just a bunch of shapes. Maybe we'll do slots later. I don't know. We'll see. We also got this old man. Which we can swim across. Grimer has been appearing lately. See that pond in front of the house? Grimer lives there now. Where did they come from? This is a serious problem. Grimer lives in this little pond? Guess I can't really do much. So that's the other gym. So sunset would be just like dark in this world, right? Like, right? Or, hold on. Sunset time. Pokemon Crystal. Night only begins. Wait. What? We only have night, morning, and day, so I'm gonna assume it's night time? He wants us there? I think. Because what else would you consider sunset as? Hi! We're holding a eat-a-thon contest. We can't serve you right now, sorry. Cut it! So that's how you get to that gym. Got it. Not like it really mattered or anything. I want to try somewhere else because that area is not probably the best for my Pokemon right now. But that's... Well, that's the gym. What is this? Oh, okay. The road is closed until the problem at the power plant is solved. Not until power plant solved. Let's see what level these guys are. 13? That's like babies to my Pokemon right now. Only babies. Little babies. Whatever. I seen a sinister shower hovering you. Take this, ward it off. You were in mortal danger, but you are protected now. Yeah, that shadow is the guy who's calling me right now.
My grandma is into warding off that she believes to be evil spirits. I'm sorry that she startled you.
Well, it didn't work. Whatever she was trying to ward off, it didn't work. Let's try a different way. Let's see if this way is a little better. This has some more level up Pokemon. Why is it always a Snubble? Still 17. Eh. Snooze you lose, I guess. Good. Got that out of the way without it fleeing. I just gonna get all level 17 Pokemon for now? Like, what is this? Ah, so scary. Of course it missed. It want to flee because my Pokemon stinks! We're the Kanto Pokemon Federation Trainer Group. We'll drive you under our wheels. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Oh God. Oh God. They all keep self-destructing. Guess I don't really have much of a choice right now. Yeah, get out of here. So many coffins. It's so sorry. Go great to your mommy. I really can't do this. Try to go around them, but I can't. Well, he only has one, so that's fine. Flareon! Well, trying to heal a Posire here, but whatever. Stay away from that guy for now. Dadgummit! Two. Only two. Alright. BRB? Alright, that's fine. Keeps getting minimized over and over and over. How you mean you missed it? What am I supposed to do with this thing? Great. on! Everything just doesn't work. I don't got like a psychic type or anything on my side. I don't even know more anymore. I can't even hit him because he's so freaking small. Well, this one worked. That did enough to kill it. I don't know anything else. Just a hit on set. Attack and then miss. Burp, burp. Oh my god. add me back. Please, I don't want to do this. Good. Why do I feel so out of it today? I don't know why. Alright, let's go ahead and try figuring out this trade thing. Alright, give me 1 second here. Probably won't stream for 4 hours because, I don't know, I feel like... no. Multiplier. Load. Silver. Okay, I think the reason why is because of the timing. So I'm just gonna do a new game. There hasn't been a whole lot happening.
Alan, not right now.
So let's switch to the other Pokemon. Give me 1 second. Audio. Okay. Will you check the clock for me? It is 4 o'clock. Yes. Do this. Yes. Alright, let's speed things up. Nope, that's not what I wanted.
Say nice thing. Yeah, it's a Pokemon. It looks like a mouse. It's like a blue mouse, but it's not Pikachu, though. It's not Pikachu. What do you say what your name is?
Yeah, I know. No. What? No, no! No. 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 Oh my god. Shit. I did it wrong.
Shit!
I pressed too many buttons.
Crap. Still 4. Speed run. So it's Thursday. Today, as we're recording this, it's Thursday. And then we went with Totodile on this one, so... Name it Toto. Alright, let's make it normal now. It was this way, right? Not... I don't know. Okay, that's not it. Ah, shit. Should be, I think, this way, right? right.
Yeah, this is right. Sure, I guess.
Balls. She blows up. Wait. I was going to say a long time no see, but you kind of look a little different. Well, you mean to say shares the same name, but spelled differently. How are you? And what are you doing to my old Ray? Where is she?
It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Crazy old man.
Emergency! Oh my god! Someone stole my balls! Someone stole my balls! Help! 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 Someone stole my balls.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing around here?
can only do Scratch. I can't do any other Pokemon stuff. I mean, Leer is just, I don't know, not really worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm out of here. And a Pokemon restored here.
Okay, instead of Strange, I got a good name for him. Yeah, but get his name, yeah. Who? Who is what his name is?
Pokeball.
No. Well, it's not like I'm gonna, like, save this game and whatever. Whatever. I don't care right now. Dude. With his weird ass haircut. Rat. Okay, let's see. So... Rat. I need to look out. So I think there's 3 Pokemon that I need to trade, right? Was it 3? think it was 3. So like Kadabra, Muscle, and I think another one, but I can't remember what that one was. Pidge, as in Pidge from Voltron. That's another Pidgey. Looking for a different Pokemon. That's not Pidgey! One left. Gotcha. Kuna Matata. Kuna Matata. Alright. Let's save. Go up. Have that wait. Alright. Let's see here. Okay. So now trade across time? Hold on. What's this? Coliseum. Battle Friends. No. Alright. I need to make this smaller. Of course, it's going to be a little weird for you guys, but okay, how am I going to do this? No, that's not what I wanted. I want display. Okay. So now we have our two. Give me a second. I don't know why it's not letting me when it's. Okay, so I guess that's good enough. Alright, hold on. It's being adjusted. What the hell? Can't be taken. What do you mean Quagsire can't be taken? What? Well, I have to go back and... see here. Deposit. Who else? Who else needed a trade? Need Ballsack. What was the other Pokemon? Was it? No, it's not Mareep. Pokemon evolves. I trade. Oh, Onyx. Okay. While holding Metal Coat. Alright. So Onyx is still on our team, so... Give. Oh my god! Does this work? Pause it. What is this? You can't take this. You can't take that. You can't take this. You can't take that. What? And it just says it's being adjusted. I'm about to give up on trading. This is ridiculous. They're at the same time. Can't take a Machoke while it has that. Like, what is this? So you're telling me that I can't really trade no matter what? Alright. This is bullshit! So basically, I have to hunt down the next evolution. Your friend is not. Now, how do I make this? I can't do this. Can't trade. Trade machine is like broken or it needs adjustment. If you are trying to trade with clean without corruption. You have to visit your take a city on your way there. You'll run into Bill. As he just finished install. Okay. Well, we have to talk to Bill. Which he is up there. All right. We are going the right way, right? We just have to travel up to that city in order to find Bill. Hello, Spectre. Welcome back. So we can't trade Machoke. So I will have to find another is it Machoke to trade to the wall, or is it? Yeah, I can't trade Machoke to evolve to Machamp because it has a Vitro Throw or whatever, which I think it's stupid, but. So in order for us to trade, we have to go to Urtica City to find Bill. Saying that he will fix it. Which I think the whole trading move, like if it has a certain move, I think that's stupid. So I will have to get maybe a code or something to get Machamp. Sorry, guys. I wish that was the case, but it's not. Or is there actually a way to get Machamp by catching it? I wonder. The time capsule is only to trade Pokemon from Red and Blue. So, I've been doing this wrong the whole time, right? After streams, well, at least somebody had to tell me. Alright. Let me get my red. Version red. Oh boy. New game. Oh. Oh. Then I... Wait a minute. I played blue. No, I played red. I played a little bit of blue because of the trading stuff. Because I don't have blue anymore. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's not like I need to go all the way back to catch 3 Pokemon randomly. It'll be fine. I don't know. Did I accidentally delete that? Well, shit. Oh well. Oh well, I guess. I don't know. It'll be okay. I mean, I beat the whole game, so like... Yeah, we get this. Fast forward! Speeding up. I don't know. Let's just do red. Gary. John! Red and Gary. Why is it so blue? Oh wait, maybe that's because we're in this town. So we choose Squirtle before. So we'll go with Charmander. We'll name him Flame. I'm not buzzing! Okay, I get it! What do I do next? Do I go get the order? Was it? I don't got Pokeballs, so I can't do this yet. That's what I thought, but I thought he said, hey, I got an order for you. I don't know, maybe he did say that. Oops. Let me... Let's try to speedrun this.
Get out! Hey, Gramps! Shut the fuck up!
Alright, time to go here. So we just need to catch 2 Pokemon. Pretty much. I don't have any Pokeballs. Wait, how do I got that much money? Is it from the cheat? Oh my god, it is. I didn't know the cheat can be carried over like that. Okay. All right. Sure. This red does not know how to spell. Oh, well, time to die.
dead Pokeball. Well, I guess.
I thought. Why does it still have the cheats from last time? There you go. Good lord, I completely forgot I had those cheats. All because of Mewtwo and stuff. Nope, wrong way. Wait, hold on, before I continue this. Let me take a look at this one right beside the Coliseum. Trapelcade. There we go, that's where it was. That's where it was. So I didn't have to go back. Hold on. I can do silvers. Give me 1 second. Continue. Alright. So there is a local trade, which I guess it's next to the Coliseum. My bad. Alright, let me see. Do I got... Okay. Yes. Yes. Save your game. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we'll do... I could have done Chikorita. Oh, whatever. Oh, whatever. Shut up. Doesn't matter. We'll do the Onyx. Or, wait, no. Rattata. For our Onyx. Yes. Yeah. No, I didn't mean to do that! I will trade him back. It doesn't matter. Oh shit. Steelix! Alright, so now we'll trade the Steelix for our Kadabra. Kind of interesting how this is a different layout than what. So I guess I can't get Machamp, sadly, but I do know of a little cheat code to get us Machamp, like we did with Mirweep. So it shouldn't be that complicated. Oh, the Kadabra! Trying to learn Reflect, but can't learn more than 4 moves. Let's see. No. I think we're good. Okay, so let's trade our rat with Alakazam. We'll do another trade again. It's just with Machamp. So we'll have to stop trade for now. Cancel. Alright. I don't know why that sounded very crackling, but because I don't think there's any Machokes around here, right? I would have to go all the way back for that. Yeah, that's not happening, so... Won't be on the same level as Muscle over here, but we will be able to evolve it, so... Maybe I shouldn't go this way. Alright, let's see, where is... there it is. Machoke. 43. Alright, this should work. Yeah, alright. Yes, but it can't because it has Vitral Throw. It's stupid. Here. I'll try catching this and then I'll show you what I mean. Ayo! I need to buy some Pokeballs. I don't know how many I wasted on that thing. It's a male. Not that I really matter, but like... I'm like a level 18 at least. Yeah, that one didn't do nothing besides focus energy. No. 18? Level 18? No! But it's female. No! Give me level 18! There we go. Oh, boys. Quite a gentleman. Oh, I should use the great balls. Oh well. You motherfucker. Oh my god! Super effective. Shit! But then Ballsack's gonna kill it, so... Jesus! Why? Why? At least it's not effective, and you're very high level, so we should be okay. I'm gonna have a brain aneurysm. Jeez. Why are you so stubborn? I would confuse it, but that's gonna kill it, so, I mean... And my other Pokemon's about dead. Get into the ball! Get in there! I just had to yell at it. So let's see here. U-S-C-L-E. I don't know about you guys, but... So instead of muscle, like muscle mommy. Alan! No, I'm in another area, like, I'm not... Oh, Sasuke. Alright, take that cheat off. Thank you. Alright. And then it should fix it, So, let's go to the Poké Center. Take muscle. Because I tried. We're gonna withdraw. And I think this is stupid. I don't know, maybe... Alright, hold on. Oh wait, hold on. This is... I know we respond because I'm trying to work on it. Hold on. I'm working on it. I know my friend was not ready because he's been on silent mode this whole time. I guess I can. I don't know why it didn't allow me to do that. Well, we can have 2 Machokes. Two Machokes mean 2 big. You need a chain for this one. Alright. I don't know, maybe maybe it's because I did the time capsule thing. I don't know. Alright, so we got 2 Machokes. Let's trade. Yeah. Trade. I'm sure we will find a Chikorita somewhere, right? 6, 7! Get out of here! Damn it! What's better than having 2 Machoke? 1 Machoke is 2 Machokes. So 2 can choke me. Oh, this is one we just caught. Congratulations. So, now, trade, and trade. Yes, yes. Well, Muscle has a boyfriend now. Congrats. And then we'll trade the Kakuna back. Excuse me. So now trade the champ for the Kakuna. And people are mowing. Yes. And yeah. Is there any other Pokemons that are like this that I call that I have to trade? I don't think so. Original. Okay, OT is original trainer. Mike. I mean, Muscle Daddy wouldn't even fit, so that's why I went with Big instead of Muscle. Trade complete. Yippee. Now I'm done. I'm done. Let's get the fuck out of here. Alright. Bye. There we go. And save. I don't have Scyther. Let's see. So, Cypher for Metal Coat. What else? Evolve by trade. I don't have a Ghastly or Haunter yet. And no, I'm not gonna do the whole cheating. I don't have a Porygon yet. Or, wait. Does Porygon 2 come in? Oh yeah, it's Generation 2. But Porygon Z is not introduced. Okay. Seadra for a Kingdra, which I don't have. Slowpoke for King's Rock. Or a Poliwhirl for that. See here. Dragascale and upgrade for the other two. So I would have to get, hold on, Pokemon only in silver. Only exclusive to silver or gold. So Vulpix is exclusive. I think, well, I don't. Because Mary wasn't in Crystal, so let me see. Vulpix, Mankey, Mareep, which we got, Giraffite, Remoraid, and Octillery. So all of those cannot be seen in Crystal. Alrighty. So the more followers or more people bring bits or subs, gift subs or actual subbing. Alright, so it's nighttime now. Let's go ahead to that one guy's thing about the scary spooky story. Where was that at? Other city, okay. sentry on, right? This way? Because I think so. Also, I need to look into Twitch about why it's... Is the stream good? Like, is there, like, a delay? Okay, this is good. I want to see if there is a delay. Let me see. I'll wait for a couple seconds. Sometime it delays in chat. Okay. Well, that's a little different. I mean, like, for streaming, whatever. Anyways. Let me recount a terrifying tale. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who was given a new bicycle. Uh-oh. Hold on. We gotta get spooky. Gotta get a little spooky here. Hold on. This music is not spooky. It's not spooky music. It's supposed to be a spooky story. Spooky music. Do a copyright free. There was a boy who was given a new bicycle. He wanted to try it right away. Ooh, spooky. He was having so much fun that he didn't notice the sun had set. While riding back in the pitch black night, the bike suddenly slowed. The pedals became heavy, and when he stopped pedaling, the bike began slipping backwards. It was as if the bike was cursed and was trying to drag him into oblivion. The boy had been riding uphill on cycling road. But so weird. For listening so patiently, you may take this. It's a terrifying move that slowly whittles down the victim's HP. Hey, good story. Good story. Good show. Good show. Also, I did learn that there was a Pokemon that was going to be like an actual thing. I think it was like a panda mix zombie. I don't know, I have to look it up, but they entirely scratched that Pokemon, but they only left the move Curse because that was supposed to be the signature. I think it was a panda zombie or some sort of like voodoo. I don't know, I'll have to look it up, but yeah. I thought that was interesting that they kept the move but not the Pokemon with it, so. Alright, so I learned something new today. That there is a regular trading center next to the Coliseum. And there's also a time capsule. And they're two completely different things. Well, I wouldn't say completely different, but about different. So let's deposit. Because we don't need you. And we don't need those two. We need... they're on the other one, aren't they? Alright. We'll train some of the dark Pokemon later, but... right now we have to focus on ground type. I hope you guys liked that little bit that I did. Had some fun with it. Bird! A burb! There's a burb. There's a burb among us. Ooh. But I will find a way to, you know, upgrade all of them to at least level 40 to 45. So, and that will be sometime, I don't know, later, I would say. Sometime probably before next week. Although next week's schedule for me is going to be kind of weird, so... we might have to do 3 streams instead of 4. because I got doctor's appointments again. And you're out of town, so... Yeah! Just thought I would let you guys know about that one. Tomorrow we'll be doing Uma Musume, with their new scenario that they have. Can't wait to try that. So yeah, that's gonna be that.
Meow, that's right.
Oh my god. Maybe we can look those up, because obviously this is going to be a pain in the butt for grinding. So, let's just heal and then save. Alright. So now, hold on. We're not quite done yet. Not quite done yet. Discarded Pokemon. Let me see where we can learn about. Would it be discarded or like, no, scrapped? Scrap Pokemon. Was this the one I was... I mean, that one's a little too long, but... The cut Pokemon of Generation 1.
The first generation of Pokemon is where everything started. And a long time has passed since then, and with over 1,000 Pokemon, there is of course a lot more Pokemon that just never made it into the games for different reasons. As a matter of fact, Pokemon programmer Shigeki Morimoto, who is also known for creating Mew and putting it into the Generation 1 games without Nintendo's knowledge, revealed in an interview that we were originally supposed to have 190 Pokemon in Generation 1, which is way more than the 151 that we ended up getting. But thanks to several leaks, interviews, and other sources, we are actually able to discover more information about these cut Pokemon, which is what we will be talking about today. But what kind of leaks are we talking about? Well, most of these Pokemon come from leaked Gen 1 beta assets from the Helix Chamber, which were leaked in 2019, alongside the Gold and Silver Space World demo from 1997, which was leaked in 2018, and some more interesting sources. Every single source, including the Gen 1 beta assets and the Space World demo, can be found in the description, but I will also leave the source to each Pokemon on the screen. And you can find the source for each specific Pokemon in the bottom left corner of the video if you're looking for something specific. I will also leave a link to the artists that have done an amazing job bringing these old sprites to life. And you can also see who made the design for each specific Pokemon in the top left corner of the video. A lot of these Pokemon have very little and limited information about them, but I will do my best to cover as much information about them as possible with what's available. To start off, there are some Pokemon we won't be covering in this video. That's because the images you see on the screen are concept art. This concept art primarily showcases how the game would function. But one interesting creature from this concept art is Cabin. This little head is by many believed to be just a stupid meme that never had any significance. However, it may actually be an early version of Snorlax, with its name Cabin being very similar to Snorlax's Japanese name of Kabigon. Snorlax is also based on Game Freak employee Koji Nishino, which would explain why it looks like a human head. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get into every cut Pokemon from Generation 1.
I would hate to see that.
Starting
in the
off
real
with
world
part
like
1,
that.
Cut Pokemon Evolutions. Because of limited cartridge space, many 3-stage evolutionary lines got cut to 2. Interestingly, Pokemon lead designer Ken Sugimori would reveal in an interview with Yomiuri newspaper in 2018 that in order to decide which Pokemon made it and which ones didn't, Sugimori would print out drawings of all the Pokemon and simply ask people which one they liked best. And the Pokemon with the least amount of votes ended up being cut. Another designer for Pokemon, Atsuko Nishida, known for designing various popular Pokemon, would add that it was believed that people would want more variation instead of the same Pokemon evolving twice. But with that being said, let's get into the actual Pokemon that ended up being cut. Coming in first, we have this pre-evolved form of Zubat. Of course, this Pokemon was created before the introduction of Crobat in Generation 2. Sadly, the back sprite is all we really have for this Pokemon. There really is not much more information about it, and the upscale design work is of course speculative. There was also supposed to be a middle stage evolution of Psyduck, often referred to as Weird Duck. We also only have the back sprite for Weird Duck. There is also a lost middle stage evolution to Magnemite, way before the introduction of Magnezone. Another cut evolution.
The backside looks like he has a dumpy.
Evolution to Magnemite, way before the introduction of Magnezone. Another cut evolution that easily causes for speculation is the cut evolution of Marowak. This Pokemon was supposed to serve as a final evolution to Cubone. And again, I have to make it clear that the upscale design work, though incredibly well made and interesting, is purely speculative, as we only have the back sprite to work with alongside very limited information. However, we are now moving on to Pokemon that we do have more information about, as they were also part of the Gold and Silver Space World demo from 1997, giving us both sprites, names, and typings, with one of them potentially being referenced in the Pokédex, that being Mikon. Mikon was supposed to be a pre-evolution to Vulpix, whose Pokédex entry states that at the time of its birth, it only had one tail. Mikon means 3 fox barks, and it would evolve into Vulpix at level 13. Speaking of lost pre-evolutions, we have Kanya, who was supposed to serve as a pre-evolved version of Meowth. Kanya would evolve into Meowth
so
at level
cute,
14 and
though.
was pure normal type. with its name translating to either Baby Meow or Coin Meow. There is also a pre-evolved version of Ponyta named Poochie-kun. Its name
Oh, I
translates
would've loved
to
that one
Petite
too.
Unicorn. Poochie-kun would evolve into Ponyta at level 20. However, unlike its evolved forms, Ponyta and Rapidash, Poochie-kun was categorized as a pure normal type and not a fire type. Goldeen was
Really?
also
Well, that
supposed
was
to have
weird.
a pre-evolved
be
form named Gyafin. Gyafin would evolve into Goldeen at level 16, with its name
Well,
meaning
guys.
lively goldfish. And it was a pure water type, just like Goldeen and Seaking. And to finish off cut Pokemon evolutions, we have one of the most, if not the most popular, and well-known lost Pokemon of all time, being Gorochu. Gorochu is actually pretty unique, because it was actually leaked by Game Freak themselves in 2018, when they did a
Oh, wow.
newspaper interview in the Japanese newspaper Yomiuri.
I mean, he
Judging
looks
by its
sick.
name, it's pretty easy to understand
Like,
that Gorochu was
yo.
supposed to serve as the final evolution to Pikachu and Raichu. Atsuko Nishida, who designed Pikachu and Raichu, was told to make a final third evolution. She was instructed to make it look strong. Nishida would go on to say that it had horns, fangs, and looked like a god of thunder. The story of Gorochu came before the leaked Gen 1 beta assets, but after the leak, Gorochu's back sprite has been found, though no other sprites of Gorochu exists. There seems to be multiple reasons why Gorochu didn't make it into the first generation of Pokemon games. Employees such as Koji Nishino and programmer Shigeki Morimoto would say that Gorochu didn't make it because of cartridge space. However, lead designer Ken Sugimori would go on to say that it also had to do with the game's balancing. But to end things off with cut Pokemon evolutions from Generation 1, Junichi Masuda was actually asked in an interview with GameSpot a few months later if Gorochu would ever make it into future Pokemon games, where he would go on to say that the chances are very low, but he never did say no. And that wraps it up for lost and cut evolutions planned for Generation 1, but we are far from finished. So let's keep going. It should come as no surprise that the vast majority of lost and cut content comes through the means of leaks, mostly through the game's coding. But these lost Pokemon mostly come through more unique methods. Most of the Pokemon that we will take a look at in this part comes from the creator of Pokemon himself, Satoshi Tajiri, in his biographical manga fittingly titled Satoshi Tajiri, the Man Who Created Pokemon. And this manga gives us a bigger insight into the creation of Pokemon, as well as showing us some never before seen Pokemon that never made it. One of said Pokemon is Jagu, a shark-like Pokemon believed to be a water type. Though not much information exists about Jagu, its back sprite was also discovered in leaked Gen 1 beta assets, and it most likely ended up becoming Sharpedo at a later stage. We also have Gaioon, who is a little special. Gaioon is one of the first Pokemon ever made. In fact, it's possible that Gaioon was the second Pokemon ever created. The Satoshi Tajiri manga shows Rhydon as having the index number 0. And as we know from Ken Sugimori, Rhydon was the first Pokemon ever made, and Gaioon has the index number 1. In Japanese, Gaioon is the sound for Godzilla's roar, which is probably what it was based on. Many people also believe that Gaioon's design may have been used as the sprite for the move Substitute in later games. But with the leak of Gen 1 beta assets, we were not only able to find the back sprite of Gaioon, but also this Pokemon, believed to be its pre-evolved form. However, aside from that, we don't really have any more information about Gaioon's possible evolution. A Pokemon from the manga that falls more on the weirder side is Cactus. This Pokemon was also later found in Gen 1 beta assets. And though we don't have much
Interesting, I
information
guess.
about it, it may
Why
have
does it have
later
a
served
tail?
as inspiration for Cacnea and Cacturn in Generation 3. There is
Well,
also
I like
a
those
deer
better than the first
Pokemon
one.
named Deer, whose back sprite
Deer.
was also later recovered from Gen 1 beta assets. Again, another Pokemon we don't know much about, but who most likely ended up becoming Stantler in Generation 2. Another cut Pokemon that may have been referenced in the Pokedex, just like Mikon, is Elephant. In Raichu's Pokedex entry
Elephant,
in Pokemon
okay.
Green, it is stated that Raichu can make an Indian elephant faint. Here we also have Elephant's back sprite from leaked Gen 1 beta assets. It is possible that Elephant was later used as inspiration for Phanpy and Donphan. Then there is Barunda, which looks very obscured in the image from the Satoshi Tajiri manga, but it was supposed to be a balloon Pokemon, as the Gen 1 back sprite also tells us. Barunda is also often called Balloonda, and though it was most likely cut because of cartridge space, it may have also been cut because of Pokemon like Jigglypuff, who was already known as the Balloon Pokemon. One of the weirdest Pokemon to come from the Satoshi
God.
Tajiri manga is by far Crocky. Crocky is also one of the first Pokemon
Those
ever
eyes.
made, being created in the early to mid 90s.
They seen stuff.
And it appears to be based on
They
a
have
crocodile,
seen
though its back sprite shows
beyond.
more of a dragon-like figure. And to finish off this part, we have Omega. Unlike all the other Pokemon from this part, Omega does not come from the Satoshi Tajiri manga. Omega was first revealed by Pokemon CEO Tsunekazu Ishihara in 2018, in a segment with the Japanese national TV broadcast. Ishihara would go on to showcase a lot of beta designs such as Gyarados, but Omega was the only cut Pokemon that he showed off. Omega would eventually end up getting cut from Generation 1. However, interestingly, Omega's internal number would later be used for Mew. Omega seems to be based off of Mechagodzilla, however the only photo we have of Omega is the black and white sprite shown by Ishihara in 2018. Now we're moving on to the final part, which are all unique Pokemon that does not appear to be part of any evolutionary lines that made it into the games. Starting off, we have this Yeti Pokemon. Though we don't know its actual name, it's been nicknamed Freezetti. This Yeti Pokemon is believed to be an ice type, and it may have been supposed to serve as a counterpart to Jynx, much like Electabuzz and Magmar. Freezetti was most likely based on a Yeti, or even the kaiju known
What
as
is that
Wu from the
picture?
1960s Japanese TV show titled Ultraman. But of course, we don't have any more information about it, and it's all speculative. We are also quickly going to mention these two Pokemon, which we don't really have much information about either, other than the two likely being the same evolutionary line. Not having a lot of information is to be expected in this video, as you've probably noticed. But we really have no idea what these two Pokemon were supposed to be. The second sprite does seem to refer to some sort of traditional Japanese top knot. But aside from that, the favorite idea from the Helix Chamber themselves was that these two Pokemon might be sumo wrestling frogs, which is definitely
Yeah.
an interesting thought. Moving on to these
Looks
two
like it.
bird or bird-fish Pokemon. These two Pokemon could
What?
potentially be based on the Cheep
Bird
Cheep from
fish.
Mario and the Betta Fish, but we really don't know. We also have a full 3-stage evolutionary line. These three Pokemon are believed to be Dragon types. The Dragonite line, being the only Dragon-type Pokemon of Generation 1, has always been a little bit weird, so it's fair to assume that it was supposed to have a company. They could have potentially been based on Chinese water dragons, but with only the back sprite, it's very hard to tell. It's also worth noting that we don't know for absolute certain that these three Pokemon are part of the same evolutionary line. The first sprite has the index number 94, the next one has index number 95, as you would expect, but the last one is index number 174, which means
Oh.
it was added near the very end of development. But we have more Pokemon to go through, including these two Squid Pokemon. Though, just like last time, we don't know for sure if these two Pokemon are part of the same evolutionary line, as their index number are very far apart. It is believed that they are related. Obviously, they seem to be based off of squids. And all the way at the end, we have Katora, probably one of the most popular lost Pokemon of all time. Katora is an electric tiger Pokemon that would evolve into Raytora at level 35. Katora meaning baby tiger and Raytora meaning thunder tiger. Both of these Pokemon were planned for Generation 1, but they didn't make it. They were also planned for Generation 2, but again, did not make it, and they are still
Damn.
yet to make an appearance in any Pokemon game. But it doesn't really stop there. Though we have both front and back sprites for both Katora and Raytora, thanks to the Gold and Silver demo from 1997, we also have back sprites from Generation 1, which included a final stage evolution, making it a 3-stage evolutionary line. This third evolution, however, is only in Gen 1 beta assets, meaning we have no name or front sprites for this Pokemon. We also don't know why Katora and Raytora were planned for Generation 2, but its final stage evolution wasn't. But that would be all lost and cut Pokemon from Generation 1. Or well, not exactly. There are still 6 Pokemon for us to go through. However, out of these 6 Pokemon, 3 of them are blurred out, and it is impossible to tell what they are. And the remaining 3 were probably not meant to be actual Pokemon at all, that being the Lavender Town Ghost and a fossilized version of Kabutops and Aerodactyl. I'm really sorry, but I did a goof. So there's 2 more Pokemon to mention very quickly, and it's a little bit complicated. So the first Pokemon is this, which is believed to be a pre-evolved form of Blastoise. Blastoise was not originally part of the Squirtle line. The other one is the evolved form of Wartortle. Like I said, Blastoise was not originally part of this evolutionary line. and this is a different Pokemon all on its own. I'm really sorry, mistakes were made and I realized way too late into editing the video. And with that, we have covered everything for now. As you've probably noticed, a lot of this information is limited, and we are still learning more as time goes on. And hopefully, we will have more information.
Well, I mean,
in the
this was
future.
2 years
But
ago,
for now,
so.
we are finished with the lost Pokemon of Generation 1, and we will be moving on to Generation 2 very soon.
Alright, let's go to Gen 2.
Generation 2. Some claim this to be the best generation of Pokemon.
I haven't done
while others
Gen
claim
3
it to
yet,
be the
so
most overrated
we'll stop at
generation
Gen
of
2
Pokemon.
for
But
sure.
regardless of what you think of Generation 2, one thing is for certain. There is a lot, and I mean a lot, of cut content. And in this video, we will be focusing on the cut Pokemon specifically, as there are quite a lot of Pokemon who just didn't make it into the games. Just like the video I made
Don't
for
put the
Generation
cat in the
1's cut
trash.
Pokemon, I'll go through each Pokemon one by one and sharing as much information about them as possible, including typings and this time movesets. All the resources
Oh.
used for this video can be found in the description,
Maybe
alongside
this
the
is
music
the
I've
one I was
used and
talking
a
about
link
with
to
the
the
curse.
designers who have made the illustrations you're about to see. I also have to make it clear that a lot of the information for this video is from a demo. The information may be incomplete in regards to levels, typings, and finalized names. This video is made using only the resources
Oh
and
God, that
facts currently
orange.
available. So let's
Ah.
get into it, starting with the Pokemon included in the
my
1997 Space World demo, which was a playable demo for Pokemon Gold and Silver from the Nintendo Space World event, which was a yearly event from 1989 to 2001. It was the primary event for Nintendo to show off new consoles, games, and accessories, pretty much in the same way E3 does today. And we will start with the cut evolutions, just like last time. Let's start off with Pooty. Pooty was supposed to serve as a baby evolution to Growlithe, with the name translating to Petite Growlithe. You might recognize Pooty from the Generation 1 video. As is the case with a few more Pokemon from that video, they were also planned for Generation 2. Pooty was a pure Fire-type Pokemon who would evolve into Growlithe at level 13. There was an overload of planned baby Pokemon with a total of 17, which got cut down to 7, which might be one of the reasons why Pooty didn't make it. One of the weirder cut baby Pokemon is what was supposed to serve as the pre-evolved form of Grimer. Its name translates to Grimer Baby.
Yeah, it's
It was
like
a
a
pure
big
poison
nose.
type and would evolve
Big
into Grimer
nose.
at level
bulb
19. We
nose.
also have quite a unique cut evolution of Ditto, named Animon.
Oh.
One of the things that make this Pokemon unique is that in the demo it is categorized as a normal type Pokemon. However, Ditto evolves into Animon using a metal coat, just like other Pokemon like Onix, leading many to believe that Animon was supposed to be a steel type. It's hard to tell if this would really be an improvement of Ditto, as they both still only learn Transform. There are also fans who believe that Animon could have become Meltan in newer games. And we're back at it with baby Pokemon. That being the baby evolution to Doduo. It would evolve
Why
into
does it have 3
Doduo at
heads?
level 16 and was a normal and flying type Pokemon, just like Doduo and Dodrio, and it was based on a bird's nest. It serves as a very confusing Pokemon, as this Pokemon has 3 heads, Doduo has 2 heads,
Yeah.
and then it would go back to having 3 heads, which probably didn't help it make it into the games. Staying with the baby Pokemon, we have yet another Pokemon that was also cut from Generation 1, being this pre-evolved version of Meowth. The name could be translated to Coin Meow, and it was a pure normal type, though it might give some psychic type resemblances with the floating coins, and it would evolve into Meowth at level 14. There was also a cut baby evolution to Goldeen, which was also cut from both Generation 1 and 2. Its name translates to Lively Goldfish, and it was a pure water type that would evolve into Goldeen at level 16. There was supposed to be an evolution to Farfetch, long before the introduction of Surfetch'd, known as Madame, who would evolve from Farfetch at level
Madame.
24. Madame was a normal and flying type Pokemon that appears to be based on a swan. Though Farfetch now has an evolution, it is a slight possibility that we could get a gender-branched evolution line with Surfetch'd and Madame Fetch. Mekon, who was also cut from Generation 1, is the baby evolution to Vulpix. Its name translates to 3 fox barks. It's a water meaning opposed to Plux. It would evolve from Pinsir at level 42, and it was a pure bug-type Pokemon. This Pokemon may not have been entirely cut, as there is a bug-type Pokemon missing from the Space World demo, that being Heracross. so it is possible that Plux was later turned into Heracross. Going back to the baby Pokemon, we have Para, who again was also cut from Generation 1. Para is not a translation, but the
Look
Pokemon's
at him,
real
he looks so
Japanese name,
goofy.
and it was a pure bug-type Pokemon who evolved into Paras at level 12. One cool thing about Para is that it seems to fit in with the evolutionary line, as Parasect is a Pokemon who has been completely taken over by a parasitic mushroom. Also cut from both Generation 1 and 2 is the baby evolution to Ponyta, with its name translating to Petite Unicorn. It would evolve into Ponyta at level 20, and it was categorized as a pure normal type Pokemon, unlike Ponyta and Rapidash, who were both pure fire types. But again, this could just be because it was a demo. Before the introduction of Overquill, Quillfish was supposed to have an evolution in Generation 2, with its name translating to Numbness Pufferfish. It would evolve into Quillfish at level 18. Though it is categorized as a pure water type Pokemon, there is speculation that it was supposed to be water and electric type, as Quillfish is also categorized as a pure water type before becoming water and poison. I've seen comments from people saying that they think this could have become Wishcash in Generation 3, and others say it may have become Stunfisk in Generation 5. Let's talk about Creepy Bellsprout. This Pokemon was supposed to evolve from Weepinbell using the cut evolutionary stone called the Poison Stone, which would also evolve other Pokemon like Gloom into Bellossom and Eevee into Umbreon, both of which were also poison types at the time. Though
Wait,
both Bellossom and Umbreon made it with
Stone
different
for
typings,
Umbreon?
this one didn't. There was also cut content from the Sprout Tower, as it was supposed to be 9 stories
weird.
tall compared to the 3 stories in the final game. There are fans who believe that this Pokemon was supposed to be connected to the Sprout Tower storyline. This Pokemon also has a unique cry assigned to it, and I'll play that for you now. A Pokemon that ended up getting cut at the very end of Gold and Silver's production is this cut pre-evolution to Girafarig. Just a little bit of context for those who don't know. Girafarig's name is a palindrome, meaning it is read the same forward and backwards. And in the early days of Girafarig's creation, so was its sprite, having 2 heads being the same forward and backwards. Its cut evolution seems to be the same in that regard. It would evolve into Girafarig at level 29, and many believe it to be based on Siamese twins. It was a dark and normal type Pokemon, which was also the case for Girafarig at the time. Although it was cut from the game, we also have another sprite dating back to June 1999, 2 years after the demo and right before the release of Gold and Silver in November of 1999. This Pokemon also has 2 unique cries for it that I almost forgot to include. One is from April of 1999, and the other one is from August of 1999. So here you go. Then we have this Pokemon, which was a cut baby form of Tangela. This Pokemon would evolve into Tangela at level 22 and was a pure grass type Pokemon. Aside from it having 1 eye and the beta sprite being green, there really isn't much more to say about it. But now we're moving on to cut Pokemon who are not really cut Pokemon. These are Pokemon that were cut from Generation 2 but would later appear in other games. Some people view these as beta Pokemon and not actual cut Pokemon, but they were technically cut from Gold and Silver, and because of that I will include them. The first one is actually a continuation of the last Pokemon we talked about, being the evolved form of Tangela, today known as Tangrowth. Back in 1997, Tangrowth was a pure grass type Pokemon and would originally evolve from Tangela at level 44 before returning as Tangrowth in 2006 with the release of Gen 4's Diamond and Pearl. This is also a little bit of a weird one. Some people call it Beta Bayleaf, some claim it to be an entirely different thing. Regardless, the name translates to flower mole, and it was supposed to evolve from Chikorita, most likely between level 14 and 18. You see, its evolution data was actually removed from the playable demo, so we don't know exactly when it would evolve. And it was a pure grass type Pokemon. Its design is confusing, but it appears to be based off of Chikorita blossoming into a flower, later becoming Meganium. Then we have the baby evolution to Mr. Mime. Its name seems to take inspiration from Barrier and Ballerina. It was categorized as a pure normal type who would evolve into Mr. Mime at level 15. In Generation 4, we did get the baby evolution to Mr. Mime, and that being Mime Jr. Then we have the cut evolution to Lickitung, with its name meaning to lick. It was a pure normal type Pokemon who would evolve from Lickitung at level 32. Lickitung would get its evolution in Diamond and Pearl, being Lickilicky. And the last Pokemon in this section, and probably the most popular, is Leafeon, known in 1997 as Leafy. It used to have a completely different design with roots for legs. And it was a pure
That's
grass
kinda
type
creepy.
Pokemon that would evolve from Eevee using a Leaf Stone. Just like Generation 1, Generation 2 had plans for 3 evolutions. Now we're moving on to unique Pokemon that were cut from Gold and Silver who were not part of any evolutionary line. And what better place to start than with the cut starter Pokemon? Starting off with the cut fire type line. Its name when translated means fire bear, and it was a pure fire type Pokemon. Just like with Chikorita, we don't know for sure when it would evolve, but we could expect it to evolve between 14 and 18. But you might recognize the sprite from somewhere. You see, it seems like the design for this Pokemon would later turn into Teddiursa, if we compare the 1999 sprite to the one from 1997. It would, however, evolve into this Pokemon, with its name translating to Volcano Bear, and it was also a pure fire type Pokemon, and it would evolve at level 32. At level 32, it would become this Pokemon, whose name means Dynamite Bear. It was also a pure fire type Pokemon, and it appears to be based on a mix of a lion and a bear. This line would of course be replaced by the Cyndaquil line in the finished games, but it's cool to see that one of them might have survived through Teddiursa. So let's talk about the cut water type starter Pokemon, who would end up being replaced by the Totodile line, starting with Kurusu, who was a pure water type Pokemon with its name translating to Cruz, which would also evolve between level 14 to 18. It would evolve into this Pokemon with its name translating to Aqua, who was also a pure water type Pokemon who would evolve at level 32. At level 32, it would evolve into this Pokemon, with its name translating to Aquarius. We might also know why these Pokemon were cut, as they all seem to be based on Plesiosaurs, making them very similar to Lapras, which is based on the exact same thing. Did you know there was supposed to be a water and fire type Pokemon before Volcania?
What the-
Well, here it is. The name translates to Bomb Seal, and it was based on a sea lion or maybe even a circus seal, which may have later been used in Generation 7 with the release of Popplio. And one of the most popular cut Pokemon out there, Katora, makes a return, as it was also cut from Generation 1. Katora translates to baby tiger. It's obviously based on a tiger, and it was a pure electric type Pokemon who would evolve at level 35. At level 35, it would evolve into Raitora, meaning thunder tiger. It was also a pure electric type Pokemon. In Generation 1, there was a third stage evolution to the Katora line, but we only have the back sprite of that Pokemon, as it doesn't seem to have been planned for Pokemon Gold and Silver. However, an interesting theory regarding the Katora line is that they may have been used as inspiration to Raikou, though this is only a theory. Muneo Saito, who designed the legendary beast, have never said anything about this, and no other information other than the sprite similarities supports this. There was also a cut water type line starting with Manbo 1, with its name translating to Ocean Sunfish. This Pokemon was a pure water type Pokemon based on a sunfish. What's cool about this line is that they appear to be based on sea creatures that live deeper in the water with each stage of evolution. At level 19, it would evolve into Ikari, which when translated means Anchor Rage, which seems to be based on both an anchor and a shark. Unlike Manbo 1, Ikari was a water and steel type Pokemon, who may have later inspired the creation of Sharpedo in Generation 3. But Ikari itself might actually be based on the cut shark Pokemon known as Jagu from Generation 1, who was first showcased in the Satoshi Tajiri manga titled Satoshi Tajiri, the Man Who Created Pokemon. At level 38, it would become this Pokemon, with its name translating to Grotesque. This Pokemon was also a water and steel type Pokemon based on a deep sea creature. This Pokemon may have led to the creation of Huntail in Generation 3. We also have a cut cat Pokemon. The name is supposed to represent the Japanese sound of a ringing bell. This Pokemon was a pure dark type and was based on a kitten with a bell on its collar. It also reminds me a little bit of my cat, which of course means that I think this is the cutest thing ever. This Pokemon and its evolution were female only. It would evolve into this Pokemon at level 28. Its name is supposed to represent the Japanese sound for a cheerful humming. If you don't know what that means, think about how you write the word boom for when something explodes. There is also a line of ice-type Pokemon. Its name translates to Wolfman. This Pokemon appears to be based on a werewolf, though some believe it's wearing a wolf-like coat to hide its real appearance. Similar to what Mimikyu would do in Generation 7. At level 35, it would evolve into this Pokemon, also a pure ice type, with the name meaning War Werewolf, though the fan-created names for both of them are Wolfman and Warwolf. Then we have this Pokemon based on a Straw Doll. Its name is a combination of To Be Cursed and Straw Doll. It is a pure ghost-type Pokemon based on either a Chinese straw doll or a voodoo doll, or maybe both. One interesting thing about this Pokemon is that it learns to move Curse at level 100, and it appears that this was supposed to be its signature move. It's known as Nail in the demo. And this Pokemon is the only one that learns it. Not even its evolution, which we will talk about soon. The animation we have for Curse today might be a reference to this Pokemon as well. But it evolves starting at level 1, which I think that would make it the only Pokemon that naturally evolves at such a low level. It evolves into this Pokemon, whose name is a combination of Kyonshi and Panda. It is also a pure Ghost-type Pokemon based on a panda, obviously. There is a lot of lore as to what this thing might be, including a form of Chinese zombie vampires. But that's far too out there to include in this video. The final Pokemon from the demo is this, known as Turban. I made a short about this thing a long time ago, and it led to a bunch of interesting comments. But yes, the thing at the end of Slowbro's tail was supposed to be a Pokemon of its own that wasn't Shellder. In the demo, the Pokemon is a pure water type with no evolutionary lines. But this is from a beta, so it might be that it was supposed to be related to Slowpoke, or more likely Shellder. It could be that this was supposed to be a branched evolution alongside Cloyster, but as it stands, Turban is a Pokemon of its own with no evolutionary links. And with that, we have covered every single cut Pokemon from the 1997 Gold and Silver Space World demo. But we're not done just yet. See, these Pokemon are Pokemon you can find online pretty easily. But there is still a lot more Pokemon to cover that most of you probably didn't even know about. These Pokemon comes from an internal backup dated May 6, 1998. And just like everything else in this video, links can be found in the description if you want to check them out yourself. Sadly though, these sprites don't offer much information. It is very similar to a lot of the cut Pokemon from Generation 1, with only black and white sprites, no names, no typings. Therefore, I will quickly go through most of them and what they're probably based on. First off, we have this eel-looking Pokemon, possibly meant to be a pre-evolution to Grotesque that we talked about earlier. A fox-like Pokemon that bears some similarities to Fennekin. And then we have this weird happy ball. He's just a happy little guy. A slightly different ball that appears to be its evolution. It's just a happy little guy. And then we have a happy pear-shaped thing that appears to be its final evolution. Then there's also this thing which could be a branched evolution of the two balls. Just two happy little guys. What appears to be an elephant. And no, this is most likely not Donphan, as Donphan seems to already be finished within the same files. It is possible, however, that this is the elephant found within Pokemon Red and Green, which was first revealed in the Satoshi Tajiri, the man who created Pokemon manga. It does also have some similarities to Great Tusk from Scarlet and Violet. There is also this puppy Pokemon that looks very similar to Pooty, but it has a horn on its head. There also appears to be a middle stage evolution to Natu and Satu. A very messed up bird, which might be a kiwi bird that got hit by a truck. A scorpion Pokemon, which may have later become Gligar. There's another bird, but this one seems like it has a musical note on its head. And what is possibly its evolution, shaped like a musical note, which could have inspired the creation of Chatot. This Pokemon seems to be related to Quillfish. It might be an early version of the Quillfish evolution we mentioned earlier. There's also a boar-like Pokemon, who could have inspired Pokemon like Pignite or Emboar. This Pokemon looks like something I've seen before, but I can't wrap my head around what it actually is, so if you recognize it, please leave it in the comments because I need to remember. A weird rabbit-like Pokemon, a sort of snake Pokemon with very large eyes, and then there's yet another bird, a gargoyle-like Pokemon whose head seems to resemble that of Aerodactyl. Then there are two fish Pokemon, both of which looks like early evolutions to Manbo 1. They're also numbered right after Manbo 1. This one appears to be some sort of ninja squirrel, a fox-like Pokemon that may have later become Furret, another bird Pokemon that seems to be based on a stork, and it looks very similar to Bombardier from Scarlet and Violet, a squid Pokemon that could be the cut squid Pokemon from Generation 1, a bug cocoon-like Pokemon that may have later become Burmy or even Pineco, a moth-like Pokemon that is most likely the evolution to the cocoon, and might have become Mothim. There's also a koala Pokemon, which could very well have returned as Komala. Genuinely, I have no idea what this thing is. But we have more birds. This one looks like it has some sort of a megaphone for a beak. A frog Pokemon with a horn on its head. A hippopotamus, I think. A giant skeleton. What looks to be a bunny Pokemon with large ears. It looks a lot like the cut bunny Pokemon from Generation 3. There's also a mosquito-like Pokemon, and some sort of plant-like Pokemon. A bug Pokemon that may have later become Yanma. A dinosaur Pokemon that seems like it's wearing an egg as a helmet, looking very much like Cranidos. A cherry blossom Pokemon that could have later become Cherim. An armored dinosaur Pokemon. A bird or fish that seems to be based on a flying fish. And that leaves us with only 2, which I will cover individually. The first Pokemon is Pokemon 349. What makes this Pokemon special is that this could be the scrapped box art legendary for Pokemon Silver. For the very few of you that don't know, Lugia was a last-minute addition. It was not planned for the Generation 2 Pokemon games. It was exclusively made for the second Pokemon movie, meaning at the time of the Space World demo, Lugia didn't exist. And what Pokemon was supposed to be the box art legendary for Silver has always been a mystery. It appears to be based off of some sort of canine. Out of all the cut Pokemon from Generation 2, this one fits the criteria for legendary more than anything else. It's also very close to Ho-Oh, with Ho-Oh being number 347. Then there is the cut boat Pokemon, number 344, which might be Beta Lugia. A lot of Pokemon fans will absolutely refuse this idea, because it's been stated multiple times that Lugia was created by Takeshi Shudo specifically for the second Pokemon movie, which is correct, but one part of that is wrong. I am a huge fan of Shudo's work, but he did not create Lugia. He created the concept of Lugia. Lugia was designed by Ken Sugimori, and he might have used this boat Pokemon to create Lugia based on Shudo's instructions. So this very well could be Beta Lugia, even if it was never intended to be. And with that, we have covered every single cut Pokemon from Generation 2. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found the video interesting.
Alright, I think I'm going to stop there for today. Because, I don't know, I'm feeling so out of it right now, and yeah. I learned a lot. A lot about training, that's for sure. So thank you everybody for watching today's stream. Let's see if we are going to raid anyone or not. I'm not sure. Yeah, that too. I also learned about that as well. I don't think we raided her in a while. Let's go raid Estrella playing some Tomodachi Life. Alright, thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Uma Musume.